AdesuwaOkonjo had always lived in a world of luxury. Born into wealth, she was the only daughter of Chief Godwin Okonjo, a billionaire businessman whose name commanded power across Lagos State. She had never known struggle, never had to second-guess an expensive purchase, and never imagined a life without affluence. Her days were filled with designer shopping in different malls, brunches at exclusive restaurants, and extravagant parties at her family's Victoria Island mansion. Her friends Zainab, Cynthia, and Tara were daughters of politicians and business moguls, all equally pampered, all equally superficial. They worshipped her status and envied her effortless grace. Depo Adekunle, her boyfriend, was the son of a wealthy senator, a perfect match in their elite social circle. He was handsome, arrogant, and as untouchable as she was. Together, they were the golden couple, envied, adored, and powerful. But everything changed in a single night. The news broke in the early hours of the morning. Billionaire business tycoon Godwin Okonjo arrested for fraud, money laundering, and embezzlement. Adesuwa woke up to the chaos, sirens blaring outside the mansion, reporters shouting questions, and policemen storming through the gates. She rushed downstairs just in time to see her father, the man she had always seen as invincible, being led away in handcuffs. "Daddy," she screamed, but he didn't turn. Madam Grace, her mother, collapsed onto the marble floor, sobbing. Their staff drivers, maids, security guards, watched in stunned silence. They had been loyal, but loyalty didn't matter when the empire was crumbling. Within hours, the government froze their accounts. Their cars were seized. Their mansion was reclaimed. Everything they had built vanished like smoke. And the people they had called friends, they disappeared just as fast. Zainab and Cynthia stopped answering her calls. Tara removed her from their private WhatsApp group. The girls who had once followed her lead now whispered about her downfall. Adesuwa clung to her last hope, Depo. Surely, he would stand by her. She sent him a desperate message. "Depo, please, I need to talk to you." He read it and never replied. With no money and nowhere to go, Adesuwa and her mother were forced to leave Victoria Island. They moved into a cramped one-bedroom apartment in Suralia, a far cry from the luxury they once knew. The apartment smelled of damp air and overheated pipes, the mattress on the floor was hard, and there was no maid to serve breakfast. For the first time, Adesuwa had to face life without privilege. Her mother, once a proud socialite, refused to leave the apartment. The humiliation was too much. She stopped talking, stopped trying. She just lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, as if waiting to wake up from a nightmare. Adesuwa knew she had to survive. But how? She had never worked a day in her life. She tried applying for jobs but failed at every interview. At a boutique, she was too slow folding clothes. At a restaurant, she dropped plates. Even when she begged an old family friend for help, she was met with an awkward smile and a muttered excuse. No one cared about the former AdesuwaOkonjo. One day, while wandering the bustling streets of Computer Village, she met Ayo. Ayo was everything she wasn't: street-smart, tough, and unfazed by hardship. He ran a small phone repair shop, making money through sheer determination. Adesuwa tried to haggle with a vendor, but the moment she opened her mouth, her posh accent betrayed her. The vendor smirked, doubling the price. Ayo, watching from a distance, laughed. "Rich girl like you know Sobi price market," he teased. Adesuwa scowled at him. "Mind your business." But Ayo was amused. Unlike others, he didn't treat her like royalty or pity her downfall. He challenged her. "If you want respect, earn it," he told her. "Nobody cares about your papa's money again." At first, she hated him. He was rude, sharp-tongued, and frustratingly right about everything. But as time passed, she realized she had a lot to learn. Ayo taught her how to navigate the real Lagos, how to negotiate, how to hustle, how to stand on her own feet. Slowly, she began to change. One evening, while working at a small restaurant, Adesuwa saw them. Depo and Zainab. They walked in together, laughing, holding hands. Her ex-boyfriend. Her ex-best friend. Adesuwa froze behind the counter, her heart pounding. She watched as Zainab flipped her hair, leaning close to Depo. Then, she heard her whisper. "Can you believe she's actually working here? After all that forming?" Depo smirked. "I told you, babes. That girl was never special, just her father's money." The words sliced through her like a knife. She wanted to cry. But for the first time, she didn't. Days passed. Through AO, she uncovered a shocking secret. Her father's downfall wasn't just bad business. It was a setup. Senator Adekono, Depo's father, was behind it all. He framed Chief Okonjo, eliminating him as competition. He used his connections to bury the evidence. And Depo. He had been part of the game all along, distracting Adesuwa while his father destroyed hers. She was furious. She crashed a high-profile event, walking into a room filled with Lagos elites. She exposed the truth. The scandal exploded. News outlets ran the story. The public turned against Senator Adekono. Depo, once so smug, was now drowning in disgrace. But revenge wasn't enough. Adesuwa wanted something more, her own future. Chief Okonjo was released, but their wealth was gone forever. Yet, for the first time, Adesuwa didn't care. She had found something greater, herself. With AO's help, she built a new life, creating beauty from struggle. She designed clothes that told stories, a fashion line inspired by resilience and truth. And when the day of her first great fashion show arrived, cameras flashed, the crowd murmured in admiration, and Adesuwa stood tall, not as a fallen princess, but as a self-made queen. A reporter approached. "Miss Okonjo, how does it feel to be back on top?" She smiled, the wisdom of her journey shining in her eyes. "I am not back on top," she said. "I am exactly where I am meant to be." And in the distance, Depo stood, alone and forgotten, watching her with regret. But she did not look back. For the storm had come, but it had only washed away the weak. What remained was stronger than before.